This is Tim Sale, and I'm going to draw Superman or Batman. I haven't decided yet. Well, the cape is the biggest thing for me in my approach to Batman, and it's less important in drawing for Superman. I've actually drawn Superman a couple of different ways, with different stories that I did. I'm probably best known for Superman for All Seasons, and that had a very particular look to it. I used just a very thin line, almost completely, and I really wanted Clark and Superman to look like they grew up on a farm, and that it was all about size, and so I made him like 8 feet tall and sort of a simple farm boy look. But Batman is always, you know, covered up and the cape is flying, and I learned I'd never drawn Superman growing up. I was I watched the TV show and stuff like that, but I just wasn't drawn to drawing him, and not Batman that much either. But I had to be taught how to do the S, and somebody said, well, it's two fish. I think it was Joe Madureira told me it was two fish, and he drew me a little sketch of it, and I kept it on my desk for years. I like a lot of what Darwin Cook would do. It was just a sort of black S, very old-fashioned-y. But this is more the standard look. Well, I used to try to draw without doing it, and it just never looked as good. Especially hands and stuff like that. You can fool your eye, or your eye can fool you into something looking right. And so you constantly turning it upside down or holding it up to a mirror or a light source or something so you can see through it and check to see your proportions and stuff like that. Definitely a trunks guy. I don't understand the appeal of why they've changed both Batman and Superman that way. They just look naked to me. When I started drawing Superman, I'd already drawn a lot of Batman, and I wanted it to look very different. So I used a different art style. That's when I started looking at a lot of illustration work, like from Norman Rockwell. And I left a lot of it open for color to tell a lot of the story as well, not just a lot of black like I would do for Batman. I knew I wanted to do something different. I'd been doing a lot of Batman, and I wanted to make it look as different from Batman as I could. I'm not sure how well received it was at the DC offices for a while, but because they thought they were getting the Batman guy, and I decided to draw it very differently. But I think it worked out. But no, there wasn't a particular, if it was going to be anybody, I guess it would have been Neil Adams or something, but I don't draw anything like him. But it's one of my favorite comics is Superman versus Muhammad Ali. I used to, I'm not going to do it for this experience, but I like working wet. I like working with a lot of ink and big brush strokes and stuff like that. And I usually start by laying down blacks and then getting to fine lines. But this is going to be more like the Superman for All Seasons style, so it's really more just lines and stuff. It's mostly figuring out proportions to the best I can, and then taking it from there. I actually prefer drawing Clark, but yeah, the pose, you can all his body language is so different than Batman's, and so I try to make it as unique to him as an individual as I can. When I worked on it, I came back to Superman when I did Superman Kryptonite with Darwin Cook, and that also was the most fun, was the stuff back at the farm with him and his parents, his adopted parents, and their relationship. And I like the quiet stuff, not as much leaping tall buildings or changing the course of mighty rivers and that kind of stuff. There's not, Scott Snyder wrote a very sweet, quiet story. It is Superman, it's not Clark. It takes place in Smallville, but it's not lots of action and stuff like that, which I'm very happy about. I both really like putting Clark in Smallville. I didn't like doing the stuff in Metropolis as much. I really I looked at a lot of Norman Rockwell, and that really fit the small town vibe than the sort of, I don't know, science fiction-y look of Metropolis. And I love Gotham for Batman. Alrighty. Hi, this is Tim Sale, and that is my Superman.